How do you even know if you're overcommitting? Well, if your days feel like a never-ending race against the clock, or if you feel guilty every time you take a moment to rest, these are all red flags that you are overcommitting. Are you constantly saying yes to everything only to feel completely overwhelmed? Let's break the cycle of overcommitting and reclaim your peace of mind. If you're nodding along right now, you are not alone. In today's hectic world, it's all too easy to break off more than we can chew, leaving us feeling drained, stressed, and completely overwhelmed. I know what it's like to juggle a million things at one time, trying to meet everyone's expectations while neglecting our own well-being. It's exhausting, isn't it? The aim of this video is to provide practical tips to help manage your commitments better, reduce stress, and improve your overall well-being. If you're tired of drowning your responsibilities and never having a moment to breathe, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to dive into some empowering strategies to help you reclaim your life, prioritize your time and well-being, and find a sense of balance in your busy life. I'm Coach Dan, a mindset and empowerment coach, and I've been in the world of personal development and mindset for the last 2 decades. And these are some of the best strategies that I have to help you overcome your overcommitment. Like, subscribe, share this video so anybody that you think will find this video useful. How do you even know if you're overcommitting? Well, if your days feel like a never-ending race against the clock, if your calendar is packed from morning till night, if you find yourself constantly scrambling to meet deadlines, or if you feel guilty every time you take a moment to rest, these are all red flags that you are overcommitting and could be spreading yourself too thin. The consequences of overcommitting goes way beyond just feeling frazzled and overwhelmed. Chronic overcommitment can take a serious toll on your mental and physical health. It can leave you feeling constantly stressed, anxious, and on the edge. It can lead to burnout, where you feel completely drained and exhausted, both mentally and physically. Overcommitment can lead to chronic stress. The relentless pressure to keep up with your commitments can send your stress levels skyrocketing through the roof, triggering a cascade of negative effects on your body and your mind. When you overcommit, there are so many different things that can come from overcommitting. Overcommitting has the potential for anxiety and depression. Feeling like you're always running on empty, never able to catch a breath. This can leave you feeling anxious and on edge. And over time, it can spiral into a full-time depression as you struggle to find joy and fulfillment amidst the chaos. There's not just mental implications for overcommitting, there's also some physical implications. Overcommitting can take a serious toll on your physical health, from chronic headaches to fatigue to more serious health problems like high blood pressure and heart disease. The effects of overcommitting can be long-lasting and far-reaching. So next we're going to go into understanding why we even overcommit in the first place. It's important to understand why we overcommit in the first place, and I also want you to remember to give yourself grace on this journey. We have a lot of pressures from outside commitment, and it is all too easy to overcommit. Trust me, I've been there, done it, and worn the t-shirt. Talk about the internal pressures, perfectionism, fear of failure, and low self-esteem. So let's talk about perfectionism. Many individuals overcommit because they strive for perfection in everything that they do. This desire to achieve flawless results in all areas of life can lead to taking on too many tasks. Perfectionists always feel that they have to handle things themselves. Let me know if this resonates dear to your heart. Do this to ensure that it's done correctly and perfectly. And this need increases their workload significantly. For example, a perfectionist may volunteer for multiple projects at the same time, or they may take on extra responsibilities at home, believing that they are the only ones that can do it right. Fear of failure, this is a big one. A lot of my clients come to me with fear of failure. I feel by now, if you're new here, you might not know this, but I believe failure is a good thing. Failing forward is something that needs to be done in order for success to be reached. There's 2 things about success. 1, it is personal, and 2, you have to fail forward. Failing is not a bad thing, it's a good thing. We're going to learn to reframe what fear of failure is, but let's get into it. Fear of failure can also drive overcommitment. People who fear failure may overcommit to prove their worth and capabilities. They really feel that saying yes to every opportunity is a way to avoid missing out on success or being perceived as incapable. This fear can stem from past experiences, where they were criticized or faced negative consequences for not meeting expectations. The next one, I think everybody knows this one, low self-esteem. Low self-esteem is a key driver for overcommitting. Self-esteem has everything to do with the way that you view your capabilities and abilities. The more you view them in a low regard, the more that you are going to have low self-esteem. You view your capabilities and abilities in a higher regard, and you're going to have higher self-esteem. Self-esteem can lead you to seek validation from outside sources. And if you have been following me for some time, or you come to my lives regularly, you know that one of the things that we need to do on this journey is to stop seeking outside validation. And you seek this validation to gain approval from others, hence the overcommitting. You might overcommit to gain praise and recognition using external validation to compensate for your feelings of inadequacy. For example, somebody with low self-esteem may take on extra tasks at work or agree to help friend or family members constantly, hoping to be seen as valuable and important. Now we've gone over understanding why we overcommit. Let's get into the external factors. We just went over the internal factors. So let's get into the external pressures of overcommitting. It's a big one. FOMO, fear of missing out. FOMO is a significant driver to overcommitment. In today's world where social media highlights everybody's achievements and activities, people often feel pressured to participate in everything to avoid missing out on opportunities and experiences. This can lead to you saying yes to more commitments than you can handle. For example, somebody may join multiple clubs, go to multiple events, and even take on an additional work project in fear of missing out. Or social connections. Your desire to please others is another external pressure that we're going to quickly do a deep dive into. Many people, they often overcommit because they want to please others. They want to make other people happy. This desire to be liked and accepted can lead to overcommitment, agreeing to more tasks and responsibilities that you can even handle. You fear that disappointing others is going to lead you to be an unreliable or uncooperative character. For instance, employees, they may take on extra work to please their boss. We all know getting stuck in that, we're going to work later, we're going to get a promotion, everybody's going to see what I'm doing. We've all been there and done it, and most probably worn the t-shirt. But don't get roped into that. It's an external pressure leading you to overcommit. Or a parent could possibly just overcommit to extra school activities to please their children and other parents. And last and absolutely not least, you guessed it, societal pressures, outside noise. You ladies already know how I feel about this if you've been rocking with me for a while. You know, society often glorifies busyness and being productive, equating those things with success and worth. The societal expectations can put enormous pressure on you, leading you to, you guessed it, to overcommit, to maintain your image of being hardworking and successful. Cultural norms and workplace expectations might encourage you to constantly be busy, productive, leading to overfilled schedules and burnout. For example, you guys know it, in many workplaces there is an unexpected rule to work late or be available for work-related tasks outside of actual working hours. The audacity. We know we get summarize understanding why we overcommit. Understanding the psychological and societal reasons for overcommitting is crucial for addressing and managing this behavior. By recognizing these internal pressures such as perfectionism, fear of failure, and low self-esteem, as well as the external factors of FOMO and the desire to please others and societal pressures, you can identify your root causes of your overcommitment. Awareness is the first step towards implementing effective strategies to reduce the stress, prioritize your well-being, create a more balanced life. Don't we all want that? Yes, we do. So now we've got into the whole understanding overcommitment, societal pressures, external pressures. Let's get into practical solutions, because that's what we all want. We want a solution, practical ones that we can implement into our everyday life. What we're going to do is I am going to need you to set clear priorities. Set clear priorities. Categorize your priorities. Are they personal? Are they work related? What are they? What needs to be done? What doesn't need to be done? Focus on your high priority tasks so that you don't get overwhelmed. Anything that you can't achieve, it's not a priority. You're working only on high priority tasks. Listen, this is one of my favorite ones. Learn to say no. No is a full sentence. If you know, you know. No is a full sentence. Learn to say no. Saying no is one of the most effective methods for you to actually stop overcommitting. If you say no, then you're not overcommitting. Be honest about your capacity that you have. What can you do in the week? Be reasonable. If you know you've only got 3 to 5 hours a week spare and you don't want to dedicate it to everybody, just say no and feel okay about saying it. Feel comfortable that you are saying no to focus on the priorities for that week, for that day, for that month, whatever it is. Learn to say no. No is a full sentence and it's a very powerful word. You have to remember that saying no to one thing is you just saying yes to something else that is important and is a priority in your life, such as maintaining your own well-being. I'm going to go into a couple of time management techniques that you can use to start managing your time and prioritizing your well-being for you not to overcommit. So the first one is time blocking. Time blocking is one of my favorite time management techniques because what I do is I plan on a Sunday, I write down all my tasks, and then I just transfer it into my diary and I give each task a certain amount of time, and it's in my diary, so that means that I have the time to do it. You will have your task and you will say to yourself, right, this task is going to take me an hour, half an hour, 15 minutes to complete. So you will block that time away in your diary and do what needs to be done. And it's the same thing. I advise you, if you know that you have a busy social life, you have family, friends to look after, what I would say to you is do a time analysis. There's 168 hours in a week, 56 sleeping, 56 working and commuting if you work full time, and then you have 56 hours to do what needs to be done. Set aside a certain amount of hours that you can use for your loved ones and other commitments. Once those hours run out, there is no more. Say goodbye to overcommitting. There's something called the Eisenhower matrix. Just get a bit of paper, one line, then you'll have 4 boxes. And this is what I want you to title those 4 boxes. One of them, I need you to title it urgent and important. Important and urgent. Important but not urgent. And then the other one is neither. Now you have 4 boxes. So write down everything you need to do for the week, put it in the Eisenhower matrix, and then you will see what tasks are your priority. Another strategy to combat overcommitting is setting boundaries. If you've been rocking with me for some time, you know how I feel about setting boundaries. I need you to understand that boundaries are to protect your very own limits so that other people cannot come in and overstep a boundary that you feel comfortable with, because you are setting these boundaries because you know if somebody goes over those boundaries, you are going to start to feel uncomfortable, and we don't want that. You setting boundaries is imperative to you maintaining your mental health and preventing burnout. Clear boundaries will help you protect your time, energy, and your well-being. I know so many ladies that are afraid to set boundaries because they feel they set those boundaries, so many people are going to leave their life. And I'm here to tell you that, listen, the reason why these people will leave when you set boundaries is because they no longer have that benefit or that access to you. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of boundaries in your life. And a boundary in your workplace could be for you to actually work between your working hours, and any commitment that your workplace wants you to commit to outside of work is an absolute no. Absolutely no, absolutely not. I have a life outside of these working hours. Just remember, you are contracted for a certain amount of hours, and these additional hours are just company culture. And establish your communication boundaries with your friends and your families. Let them know when you're available, what you're not. It's quite simple. I'm available here, I'm available here. I have this time here and I have this time here. Boundaries. The last strategy I'm going to share with you is self-care and mindfulness. I need you to understand that there is a need for you to engage in regular self-care activities to recharge and rejuvenate. You are going to get so much benefit from indulging in hobbies, exercise, activities, trying new stuff, exploring your interests and passions, relaxation techniques, and this will promote your mental health and your well-being. You can indulge in some mindfulness practices to keep you grounded, such as meditation, deep breathing exercises, and mindfulness apps. These practices can help you reduce stress, increase your self-awareness, and stay focused and calm amidst all the chaos. If you've got this far in the video, I just want to say a big thank you. I'm just going to quickly give a quick wrap up and we can get out of here. But I hope this video has helped you to stop feeling overwhelmed by overcommitting. Gone over recognizing overcommitment, understanding its causes, setting priorities, learning to say no, one of my favorite, managing your time effectively, setting boundaries, and practicing self-care and mindfulness. I encourage you to implement these tips immediately. Don't wait another second because I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Implement the strategies discussed today. Small steps lead to big things, and just by taking these small steps, you can see big improvements in your battle to combat overcommitment. Like, subscribe, share this video. So anybody that you think will find this video useful, please share it with them. Like, share and subscribe to this video. Please comment below and let me know if you are suffering from overcommitment and what you have done to try and combat that. And also let me know if any of these tips help you. I'm Coach Dan, signing off from A Coach of Dose Dan, and I will see you in the next one. We will be talking about boosting your self-confidence and your self-esteem with these simple strategies.